The mansion was built to intimidate, towering iron gates, polished marble floors that echoed every footstep, and the cold, unblinking eyes of cameras in every corner. This wasn't just luxury, it was a fortress. Money didn't just buy comfort here, it bought protection, a shield of wealth that made its inhabitants feel untouchable. Inside those walls, people lived without fear. They spoke freely, their voices ringing with an arrogance that only comes from absolute power. They laughed too loudly, their joy often at someone else's expense. They whispered deals in hushed tones, convinced that the sheer height of their walls would keep their secrets safe. They believed their power made them invisible, gods among mortals. They were wrong. She arrived before the sun, a silent shadow slipping through the gates as the world slept. She left after dusk, long after the last rays of light had faded. Her role was simple. She cleaned what they dirtied. She erased their messes, polished their surfaces, and maintained the illusion of their perfect lives. She listened while they forgot she even existed, a piece of the furniture, a ghost in the hallways. The maid never interrupted. She never asked questions. She never reacted, her face a mask of polite indifference. But she saw everything. She heard everything. The father's voice, a low rumble of authority, would carry down the gilded hallways late at night. Threats disguised as business decisions, promises soaked in corruption. He'd make jokes about ruining lives, spoken casually between sips of eye-wateringly expensive wine, his laughter echoing in the cavernous rooms. She wiped down the long mahogany table where they plotted. She vacuumed the plush carpets where they paced and lied. She stood motionless in doorways while secrets were born, her presence so constant it became unnoticeable. She was the perfect witness because, to them, she wasn't there at all. And she recorded it all, a soft vibration in her pocket, barely perceptible. The faint, brief blink of a tiny red light, quickly extinguished. It was a subtle, patient collection of truth no one ever noticed. They were too preoccupied with their own reflections in the polished surfaces she maintained. People like them never do. Then, one night, the father didn't come home. At first, it was a minor inconvenience, a disruption to their rigid schedule. Then, it turned to confusion. His wife called his phone, again and again, each unanswered ring ratcheting up the tension in the house. The confusion curdled into fear, a cold, unfamiliar emotion that began to seep through the mansion's thick walls. Frantic calls were made, security guards ran checks through every camera feed, rewinding hours of footage, searching for any anomaly. The massive front doors were locked and bolted. Rooms were searched, closets thrown open, spaces under beds checked. Nothing. There was no broken glass, no overturned furniture, no splash of blood on the pristine marble. No sign of a struggle whatsoever. There was only a profound, heavy silence where the father's booming voice used to be, and the maid. She stood where she always stood, in the periphery, hands folded neatly in front of her, her eyes lowered, still invisible, still silent. The family and their associates searched for enemies. Business rivals, disgruntled partners, ambitious thieves. They drew up lists of people who might want to harm the father, a list long with the names of those he had wronged. But they never once thought to search her room. They never considered the woman who brought them their morning coffee. If they had, they would have found the truth. They would have found her life's work. Neatly stacked hard drives, a library of their downfall. Each drive was meticulously labeled by date, by voice, by crime. Years of recordings, every threat, every instance of blackmail. Every secret account number whispered over a secure line. Every illegal deal plotted behind closed doors. She hadn't taken notes, she had taken their power. By sunrise, unmarked cars arrived quietly, their presence a subtle shift in the neighborhood's rhythm. By noon, the arrests began, clean and efficient, the faces of the powerful now etched with shock and disbelief. By evening, accounts were frozen, powerful names were destroyed, and legacies built on lies were erased from history. The father was found, alive, breathing, but utterly broken. Because death was never her goal. That would have been too easy, too quick. Exposure was the weapon. Humiliation was the justice. She wanted them to live with the consequences, to watch the fortress they built crumble to dust around them. The mansion still stands today. It's empty now, cold. The cameras watch over nothing but dust motes dancing in the sunlight. The marble floors echo only silence, and somewhere else, in another grand house filled with another powerful family, she cleans again. She listens again, and she records again, because she knows a fundamental truth about the world. The most dangerous people don't always carry weapons. They don't kill with bullets or blades. They kill with patience, with access, with silence. And you never, ever see them coming until it's far too late. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.